Hey guys, so for today's video I'm going to be testing out a new product that I got. Well, I don't really think it's like a new product like on the market, but it's like new to me. So I'm starting out by painting two of the nails with the black from Ball Pit. For this nail right here, I did do 2 coats of black, but on the other nail that I painted black, I only did 1 coat because I was going to be applying some cat eye polish on top of it. So, like I said, I was testing a new to me product and I wanted to see like the different effects that it would give on the different colors. I mean, this product specifically wouldn't affect like the colors, but what I was doing was going to affect like depending on the colors that I was using on the base. So for this nail, I decided to paint it white with the white from Ball Pit. I did do 2 coats of this and I cured each coat for 60 seconds. And then for the next nail, I decided to paint it blue. I'm using Sea Breeze from Tron Legend, which I just want to say I absolutely love this shade of blue. Like, this is my absolute favorite shade of blue ever, especially when it comes to painting nails. But anyhow, again, I did 2 coats of this and I cured each coat for 60 seconds. And then for the last nail, I'm taking the Last Ride from Nails by Dev and doing 2 coats of this on the nail. Originally I was just gonna do like another cream color, but then I was thinking what I was doing on top, I wanted to know like what it would look like with a glitter. So that's why I decided to go with that glitter. And like I said, for this second black nail, I did want to do cat eye on top of it. So I'm taking, I think it's called Celestial Charm from Daily Charm, and painting that on the nail. I only did 1 coat of this cat eye, and then I took, I think it was my cylinder magnet maybe. Yeah, I used my cylinder magnet to bring all the magnet pieces up. I just brought them up to the surface. I didn't do any specific type of design or anything with it. I just really wanted all of that like glitter and sparkle and everything to be like front and center on this nail. So the product that I'm going to be testing today is this Sculpted gel paint from Makartt. I got it off of Amazon. I think it was like $10. But I've been seeing this lady on TikTok that's been using this, and I've been doing some really cool designs with it. So I wanted to get it and test it out. I will put a screenshot of her TikTok up on the screen so you can see who it is. She has some really great tutorials on different designs to do with this. So for that first nail, I apparently wasn't recording when I did it, so you just see the finished product there. But for this nail, I decided to do, on all of the nails, I decided to do different designs, except for the thumb and the pinky are the same because I couldn't figure out like another thing to do with this. So I just went ahead and did the same thing I did on the thumb and show you what I did for the thumb on the pinky. But anyhow, I'm just taking this gel and spreading it on the entire nail first, and then I'm going in with my dotting tool and doing a design. I kind of just did almost like a starburst kind of effect, I guess, where I'm just like doing lines going in a circle on the nail if that makes sense. And I was noticing I had to wipe off my dotting tool every now and then because there would be a buildup of the gel on the dotting tool, and it was kind of affecting the lines and making it so they weren't really showing up in the gel. So this gel is really thick. It doesn't move in the container or anything, as you could see. So you can do a lot of like texture designs or like 3D designs with this. And then after getting the design down how I wanted it, I did go ahead and cure for 60 seconds. I'm just following the steps that this lady on TikTok was doing. I don't know how to pronounce her username, but I'm just following the steps that she did because I really didn't know like how to use this or whatever. But she always cures for 60 seconds and then applies chrome. She usually uses liquid chrome, but she did have a tutorial where she did show using regular powdered chrome, and it works just as well. And I don't have any liquid chrome, so I'm just using the powdered chrome. And I just applied that right on top after curing for 60 seconds, and that's how it looked. I am using the same chrome powder for all of the nails. I think it's like Charming May or something. I got it off of Amazon. I can link it down below, but I used the same chrome powder for all the nails, and because of the different colored bases, like the chrome effect and how it looks is so different across all of the nails. But anyhow, I just went through and did that same thing of spreading this gel on the entire nail and then going in and doing whatever design I wanted to do with my dotting tool or with my brush. For this one, I wanted to do like a swirl type of look, but here you can kind of see it wasn't really working. I think I did a little bit too thick of a layer of it. So it was just kind of like merging into each other, kind of like blending into each other a little bit. So I went in and wiped some of that off, and all the excess I just put back into the pot, and then it did work out a little better. It still didn't work out quite as well as I had wanted it to, so I don't know if I applied too much or too little really with this nail, or if it was just like the design that I was doing wasn't really a good design to do. You can still see the design in it and see that I did these little swirls, but it just didn't turn out as well as the other ones that I did. And the lady that I'm like found this product from and like found her tutorials and everything, she always does everything with a toothpick. So she'll spread that gel on with a toothpick and then do her designs with the toothpick as well. I don't have any toothpicks, which I feel like is kind of weird that I don't have any toothpicks, because I do bake and like make like cakes and cupcakes and stuff sometimes, and like brownies, and that's how you're supposed to check to see if the middle is done. I've just been like sticking a fork or a knife in it to see if they're done. But anyhow, I didn't have any toothpicks, so I'm just using a gel applicator brush to spread it on the nail, and then using for most of these designs, I just used my dotting tool to do the designs, but on the thumb and the pinky, I did use the brush to do the design. So you don't necessarily have to use a toothpick. You can use whatever you have or whatever you can, I guess, like find to do these designs. But it was really fun to just kind of play around with this and see like what I could do with it and see the different designs that I could do with it. Also with this, if you're doing this like kind of where you want the chrome on the entire nail or whatever like this, she does recommend to apply it to the entire nail, which is why I'm applying it to the entire nail, because that's what makes it the chrome stick everywhere. because obviously if it's not on a part of the nail, like the chrome isn't going to stick to it. So you want to apply this gel to the entire nail and then go in and do your design, unless you're doing like, you know, some other type of specific 3D design, like a shell design or something. Honestly, I don't even know like how well that would work, because I wasn't really trying to do that. I was just messing around and doing kind of similar stuff that she's been doing on TikTok, because I've been thinking it, like, every time I watch them, they look so cool what she does. And I just love like all the different ways of being able to get texture and like doing these different designs on the nails. Like, they just look so cool. So like I said, I was just kind of messing around here, seeing how well this worked and like if I could get it to work. So for this last nail here, like I said, I did the exact same thing on the thumbnail. So I just spread it out on the nail, and then I just took the brush and kind of dabbed it on there to make like ripples on the nail. The first one, it kind of just looked like the gel polish didn't cure very well, whereas on this one, it looks a little more like an intentional design. Like on the thumb, I feel like it looks like I didn't properly cure the gel polish, and then it like wrinkled up on me. I think maybe because it was such a bigger nail and I didn't do as many like, I didn't like smush the brush on the nail as much. I kind of like strategically kind of placed it so there was like some more flatter places and some more higher up places, whereas on this pinky nail I kind of just went for it and just went crazy with it, and I feel like it turned out a little bit better on the pinky nail. And like I said, it looks a little more intentional, whereas on the thumbnail it doesn't really. But this was really fun to play around with, and it gives me a lot of ideas of things to do when it comes to using this and doing other kinds of nail art. So after I got all the chrome powder on all of the nails, I took this 2-in-1 top coat from Varnail and just applied that to all of the nails and then cured it for 60 seconds. This 2-in-1 top coat is good for chrome as well. Like, you can use it to apply chrome. And then you can also use it as just a regular top coat. And since I've been using it with chrome, I just use it to top coat all my chrome as well. As far as the texture goes on the nails, if you don't like texture on your nails, I would recommend either encapsulating these designs, like if you do something like this, or top coating, like double top coating, and using a thicker kind of top coat to fill in like all those ridges. And you're still going to be able to see all that texture because you did apply the chrome on to the nails. But if you didn't apply the chrome at all and you're just going for the texture, you're not really going to be able to top coat at all. And this product is no wipe, hence the reason why the chrome works with it. But it is a no wipe, so if you are just doing like a 3D design, like if you were to do like a shell print design, or if you did one of these designs just on a nail without applying the chrome, like you can just do that and have it be your final step because it is a no wipe. But because I had the chrome, I did have to top coat it. And also because I applied the chrome, you can really see the texture on all of the nails. And I did only do one coat of the top coat on these nails, so you can feel the texture on them. But like I said, if you didn't want to feel the texture, you would either have to encapsulate or like double top coat, or apply a base coat and then apply your top coat. One of those to just fill in all those ridges and make the nail nice and smooth. You could also, like, she's done it before on one of her videos where she applied the top coat and then like lightly filed it to take some of those peaks down a little bit and then top coated again. But I don't really like that method because that could potentially take off some of that chrome powder off of your design. But if you don't mind that, then you could do that if you wanted. But I just think this was super fun to play around with and see like all the different things that I could do with it. It was also fun to see how differently the chrome looked on all the different colored bases. Like I said, I used the exact same chrome powder for all of these nails, but because of the different base colors that I used, it looks so different on each one, and it just is so cool. And like, just goes to show you that like with chrome powder, you know, most people will just put it on like a black base because that tends to be like how it shows up the best. I mean, not necessarily the best, but that's how you get like if you were doing a colored chrome specifically, like a gold or a silver or something like that, it tends to show up a little better over the black. But like, you could put it over any color you wanted, and especially these like chameleon shift chromes or like the mermaid chromes or whatever, the aurora chromes, like they're all going to look different depending on the color base that you put them on. So it's really fun to just play around with like chromes and stuff and like putting them on different colors to see how the shifts look and how they like show up on these different colors. And then seeing them in the different lighting is super fun too. I feel like on the white one it looks more pearl-like but on camera, but in person there is like a pinky shift to it. Under the flash here it looks blue, but in person it looks more pink, kind of like the blue on the blue, how it looks more pink. But that was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.